a mission to interview women and the occasional token man about how their passion and purpose have collided to create healthy relationships and profitable businesses. I am Elizabeth Denham, and this is Rebecca Monet, and we are founders of The Coterie for Women, a new platform for women, so check us out online. Rebecca, how is everything going? We have not gotten a dating update lately, so I'm curious to know if your roses and thorns might relate to your dating life.
So as those of you that have been following, I started online dating about 3 weeks ago now, I guess it's been. And I think there's all of 3 or 4 guys in San Diego County that would be contenders, right? One of which I went... Contender! One of which I went to the beach with and had a picnic with, and he's just the sweetest guy and so thoughtful and so kind. But there's just, that chemistry thing is really not there on my part towards him.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's important.
This is so important, right? If you're talking long-term relationship. But the worst part about it, and again, this is only the second time I've seen him when we went to the beach, is he's got these lips that I swear must have been flapping on his motorcycle or something, because they're all dried and cracked and chapped, and every part of me is thinking, oh my gosh, please don't come in for a kiss, right? Because that's got to be like sandpaper. It's just horrible.
Does he have a motorcycle?
I don't know. I just assumed. How else do you get that chapped? There's got to be air hitting it on a...
He's a mouth breather while he sleeps.
Maybe he's a mouth breather. Mm-hmm. That might explain the halitosis. That might explain...
Oh, that's like a double whammy.
It's a double whammy.
Yeah.
You have those kind of white things that were here, and I'm telling you, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't come in for a kiss, because I don't think I could do that. Who knows? He might have H. pylori or some kind of crazy something. And I thought, this is all I need right now. So that's my latest in terms of dating updates. Sweet guy, but not going anywhere.
So what about your rose? I hope you have something to overcome that with.
Oh, actually, I have a great rose. I just found it.
Oh, yeah. So,
did you know there was a beauty button on Zoom?
I did.
I'm so mad at you. I really am.
I'm so sorry. I owe you something.
I kept thinking week after week after week, I'm like, she looks 30 years younger to me, and she's got this beautiful lighting, and do I really look like an old hag? I'm like, what the hell?
I never thought you looked like an old hag. That's why I thought you were already using it.
No, now you're just buttering me up. And then Sherry Rose from Restoration One was on our interview, and she discovered it, and she told me about it. But as my business partner for the Coterie, I think you should have told me.
Well,
and I'm really mad at you.
It to everyone I know, so that nobody can be mad that we didn't share.
No,
I think to whom much is given, much is expected. So we must share now. Is that right?
There you go. I love that. So Sherry Rose, you were my rose, because you taught me about the beauty button or whatever it's called. Thank you.
I love it. That is hilarious.
So how about you? What's your roses and thorn?
Well, I have a thorn, and it's the delete button. I didn't tell you this.
What happened?
It's all okay, so don't panic. But I was starting to edit Jane Plitt's episode, and I was renaming. I go in because it says Zoom 0, Zoom 1, Zoom 2, Zoom 3. So I'm renaming them what our segments are so that I can easily edit and do all that. And the delete button is right next to the rename button.
Bad design. Bad design.
I was like, that is the worst place for the delete button. And then I started thinking, well, where would you put it? No, you don't want anything to accidentally, any of those buttons to delete if you don't want them to delete. So now I'm thinking it should be a whole separate thing off to the side where you could not try to click anything else. Mm-hmm. Luckily, I have it all syncing to my OneDrive, and I was able to go in the recycle bin and restore it. But there was a good 20-minute period where I was panicking. Because that was a good interview, and I didn't want to have to call her and say, can we please redo it? Because I hit the delete button.
Thank you, God. I'm so glad you had whatever that recycle thingy was.
Oh gosh, I know. And I had never had to do that before. So I had to go Google it and figure it out. And then I just randomly, dumb lucking, filled it out, found it.
Ask ask Google. You can learn everything there,
Yeah,
huh?
it was so stressful because I thought, now what am I going to do? That's the rest of the segments we could easily fix or redo if we needed to, but that one, oh,
Mm-mm. She
humiliation.
was brilliant. She was brilliant. Oh, I'm so glad that worked out. I'm so glad that you're technically savvy.
Not that savvy if I'm almost deleting her. It was awful.
Delete us. Don't delete Jane.
Yeah, so I guess my rose is that there's a restoration button. It's a
Yes.
cycle bin. You can restore it. Thank the Lord they back you up for dummies like me.
Yeah. Do you think it's ironic that we spoke with Restoration 1 today and you discovered a restoration button?
I do. It's very, much a coincidence. So maybe it was just,
Meant to
in
be.
my mind that I could restore it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Way cool. Well, what a wonderful.
Technology is wonderful until you screw it up.
Ugh.
Because I will never forget one time one of my children could not remember it when they were way too young to have a password on their iPod. It was just one of those old iPods that first started having a
Mm-hmm.
password. And I never let them have one because they couldn't remember it, and I'd have to keep track of it. And some little dummy put the password on, and it took me probably 6 hours to figure out how to unlock that thing and restore it. I'm usually normally very careful about that, but not today.
Boom. Boom.
Working fast.
Boom, boom, boom. Done, done, done.
Yes. So
Well, all right. Great roses and thorns today. It's just such a wonderful way to look at life, right? It's just to kind of look at what's working, what's not working, and count our blessings. So, but we do have to wrap up because we only have so much time for this segment. So we'll see you on the next Roses and Thorns.